go with the small talk, and then we'll get into our news, stuff like that.
Mm.
I have a little bit of a topic.
Right into the news.
Focus on a little bit.
All right.
Oh yeah. I did talk to him a little bit about what he's got planned, so it'll be interesting.
Okay.
All right. And it gives us the countdown.
Oh, we're gonna have the Power Ranger opening again?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that shit.
Yeah. I really like it just because it sounds cool, it's fun, but like I think one of the issues with our opening is just like somehow it doesn't quite like in the recording it doesn't really come out the way that like it sounds like when we're listening to it initially, and I've never been able to quite rectify that. So
wouldn't it be something maybe post editing, or is it like for the stream itself?
I'm not exactly sure. Like sometimes I've gone through some of our older episodes, and it'll sound like it's kind of underwater.
Underwater.
Interesting. Yeah. It's been a while. I feel like since we've heard it, so why don't you go ahead and hit us with it?
Okay. That should only be an effect. Oh.
Yeah.
It's very loud. That's for sure.
It is.
Metal is supposed to be loud.
And welcome to Dungeons and Talkshows, the talk show that brings you monsters, news, and homebrews. I am your host, Orion.
I am your host, Sam. Welcome back to the show.
It has been a long time. Like, took like a month off, kind of doing the summer stuff, family obligations.
Yeah.
I know my time's been like
blah, blah, blah.
real hectic.
And ever since I started working at this theater, like especially during the summer, oh my god, it's been crazy.
Well, yeah, that's the summer's when the blockbusters come out. Like, honestly, I would imagine that even though Hollywood has been kind of flopping, it'd still be a busy time for you.
Yeah, I mean, we had the Despicable Me movie came out, Twisters came out.
Yeah, like
the
Despicable
Deadpool
Me,
comes out soon.
Say no more.
Kids went crazy for that.
That was next week, right?
Which one, the Deadpool? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah. Next week. If Deadpool's involved, I might actually go to a movie theater. You know what I mean?
I'm absolutely watching this one.
It's been a long time.
I'm absolutely watching this one. I
don't even really watch movies. I did see The Quiet Place. Which
day one, right?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Me, my girlfriend and my friend watched it all, the past ones together, because I hadn't seen them yet.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, they were actually really.
I heard good things about it.
I love alien movies.
That'd be an interesting idea to run in a game, kind of like a Quiet Place type situation.
That would be interesting.
Oh man, it could be a hella crazy one shot, couldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Because like everyone's got to be stealthy the entire time.
Oh, that would be interesting. It'll be the only ability check made throughout the entire game. Just stealth.
I feel like that'd be something that'd work very well in games like Call of Cthulhu, because like you're all mundane people.
I mean, I imagine there are creatures like that.
Yeah, I feel like that would fit in just fine with a Call of Cthulhu one shot.
I haven't actually played it yet. I want to play Call of Cthulhu one day.
Me too.
Yeah.
I haven't actually tested the system.
I have the book. I want to run one so bad, but I also really want to play in one.
I would love to play like a D&D campaign thing.
You know what? I think maybe the next one that I do run will be a Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. And you know what, Sam? Thank you for not addressing the elephant in the room. As any of our viewers may have noticed here, I have been attacked. I have been shaved, scalped. My pride has been stolen.
Nah, you got to flip it around. You got to flip it around to be the evolution.
One of the things that first brought me and you together was your beautiful hair.
Well, hey,
you got to flip it around. You got to go full Warhammer, full Mechanicus. From the moment I understood the weakness of my hair, it disgusted me.
Well, don't you worry, Sam. I saved I went full Mulan. I got that ponytail, and I'm holding on to it because sentimental values,
right,
you know.
You gotta treat it not. They didn't steal you. You gotta treat it as a power up, man.
Exactly.
It's your Senkai boost.
You're Saitama now.
Hell, oh, there you go. There
Honestly,
you go.
I could probably grow it back in over the course of about 2 years.
Nah, there is no bigger empowering than being the new Saitama, man.
I'm gonna focus on my beard game now, because like I recently found out, like, now I didn't confirm this because I don't want to shatter the illusion, but I heard that a beard can function as up to a 55% damage reduction for your face. Because like they did like some scientific tests where it's just like a small beard like what I got going on can reduce damage by up to 5%, but like a good decent bushy kind of beard can reduce jaw fractures, lacerations, and stuff like that.
If it's about increasing AC, you gotta go for Gandalf.
Exactly.
You gotta go for a Gandalf level.
Yeah. The more hair, the better, obviously.
And honestly, it makes sense that dwarves would have like these thick beards. Like dwarves need a bonus to like face AC. Like if something's gonna hit them in the face.
And they're very stocky by nature, right? So like
you gotta get yourself a belt of dwarven strength or something.
Yeah. I'll get myself.
I know there is an item that literally makes your hair grow out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
and look, there's some magic where you can use your hair, you know, like Jiraiya type shit. Like
I think you should honestly go for that. Try growing out your beard and staying like bald, just full bald and full beard. The pure dichotomy.
All in on the beard, just focus all the follicles.
And then the only thing that gets left is to wear a wizard hat, so you can.
You just gotta wear a boot on your head.
Gandalf
and then you can be like Vermin Supreme.
Yeah, see,
or that.
Yeah, you know that's the vibe right there.
Yeah,
is Vermin Supreme even running this year?
I hope so. God, I hope so.
Catamon, you're from Brazil, so you probably.
Oh yeah.
Don't know
By the way,
this.
to anyone listening, I'm CamunonZ.
Welcome back.
I think I forgot to introduce myself.
You know what? I got so carried away just because like it's so natural having you on the show since last time.
I appreciate that, honestly.
Some of our past listeners may remember you. To the new ones, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
I've been in this place before. Literally.
Yeah. So returning guest CamunonZ, as some of our American listeners might know, Vermin Supreme is this crazy guy that just like he runs for president every time.
He has
what is the name? What is the name?
Vermin Supreme, and he runs under that name.
So he's a guy who has very bold political views. We normally don't talk about politics here on the show.
Well,
I think everyone has got
everyone
has got a good dose of politics in their feed for the last week.
Honestly, like
damn, man.
Everyone else is like, as soon as that whole assassination attempt happened, like the entire Twitter feed is just like, oh, everyone, we got to stop talking about D&D now because we have to talk about this. And then you got people who are like,
not just
hey,
Twitter, man.
this is terrible.
Every social media app, crazy. But you know what? As always, with anything political that happens, or just anything in general, I think at this point, the best part is always the same: the memes.
Look, I have
it's always the memes
here from
the memes are incredible.
Supreme himself that I think
I love the meme.
You guys would love to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, I might.
So gingivitis has been eroding the gum line of this great nation long enough. Free ponies for all Americans. The more ties you wear, the higher rank you are.
Wow. Wait, did he say that like what? Is this a tweet? Did he say that live?
He said this.
This is his platform. This is what he runs on.
That's like an official document type of stuff.
Wow. Yeah, ponies should be for ponies, not for war. I think. Yeah, I feel like this man truly has the ideals that like at least the Dungeons and Talkshows team embodies.
I mean, to be honest, have you seen have you seen Japanese elections? I'm pretty sure I saw like around a month ago on Twitter someone posting pictures and explaining the situation like in the Tokyo election or something like that. There's a Japanese guy, mind you, who doesn't speak English, but that quite literally dresses as a Joker.
Oh wow!
You know what? I believe it because We love Japanese characters. Everyone knows Goku. I would imagine the Joker is the American equivalent of worldwide renown when it comes to
I love this phrase.
Like
I love this phrase that has become, funnily enough, so very relevant in this very moment, which is be the American that the Japanese think you are.
I want to be that, just a burger in hand, a machine gun in the other, the whole vibe. Meanwhile, I kind of end up playing up myself to be more of a Ranger Robin Hood type, because I just like having a bow. I mean, if I was as an Orion, I have to know how to shoot a bow. Otherwise, I'll get my Orion license revoked.
True, naturally.
You're the very rare Ranger proponent for D&D. The very rare Ranger player.
Absolutely. I think the first character that I ever put together on my own that wasn't pre-made was a Ranger, because it's just such a fun aesthetic.
That's sick. Oh, that's cool. And at the same time, I'm sorry for your loss. The 2024 Rangers still sucks.
Well, to be fair, I was making it for 3.5, so it was a different time.
No, good then. But at the same time, 2024 version update is coming. It's getting closer, and apparently most right of the new classes are improvements from the old ones, and then there's just Ranger.
Ranger's always been a victim of this kind of thing. For those of you that don't know, one of the biggest changes they made is they're making Hunter's Mark a class feature, but it still requires concentration. So it's just you know what? As a DM, I look at that. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to ignore the concentration bit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think a lot of DMs are not going to fully transition. I'm pretty sure a lot of DMs are going to go okay, I like the new monk. I'm going to use the new monk. I don't like the new warlock. I'm going to definitely keep the old warlock, Because WotC themselves said that it's all compatible. You can use a 2014 class and a 2024 class in the same party. Imagine a 2014 monk and a 2024 monk in the same party.
I bet people are going to do this. Run it as an experiment, kind of see how things go.
That could be fun.
They definitely will. And that's kind of what the public is for, right?
I guess it's not going to be a full transition.
We're going to push it to its limits, I feel.
Speaking of the books, though, I'll jump right into nerd news just for
a little go ahead.
Because we did check out the book release schedule.
This is TN bringing you nerd news.
With your host, Blank.
Yes.
Take it away, Blank.
Good point, Blank.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought of that before.
Honestly,
It's raining.
Man, he always says the greatest things, man.
Yeah.
God damn.
I don't think he's ready. I don't think the internet's ready for you, bud.
Nah, he's completely right. I hadn't even thought of it on that angle.
Yeah.
He should be doing the speeches, man. Not Hulk Hogan. He should be Plank up there.
Yeah.
You guys don't know how much I laughed when he took out the shirt and started fucking flexing. I felt like I was in a cartoon, man. It was crazy.
I'm just imagining Hulk Hogan being replaced in that movie Three Ninjas that he was in the 90s.
Oh my
with
I don't even know which movie that is. Oh my god.
No, there's in the 90s. There's this movie series. There's just real childish called Three Ninjas, where it's just these three kids and they're all like, oh hey, we know ninja and karate shit, and then they fight some dudes and whatnot, and then the one with Hulk Hogan, they're at an amusement park, and it was just just a silly little movie, but just imagine.
But he was in there he was the kid.
No. He, the kids meet Hulk Hogan.
Oh, okay. Because I'm pretty sure he was already an adult back then. So imagine the guy trying to play a kid. The most jacked fucking guy in existence playing a kid. God damn.
He's just on his knees.
You thought Stranger Things was bad? God damn.
You've never seen a kid like me, brother.
Let me tell you something, brother.
That's great. All right.
Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Fountain.
What do you mean? I need permission to go to the bathroom? Let me tell you something, teacher.
Oh my God. He plays a character named Dave Dragon.
Dave Dragon? Are you kidding me, bro?
I mean, he's already Hulk Hogan. I mean, Dave Dragon's not too big of a far step.
You cannot make this up, I swear.
I know.
If you know about this movie, leave a comment.
I mean, I know now for sure. It is on my knowledge now.
It's something else, I'll say. So for this year, they're going to be releasing the Player's Handbook, the new one, before they about 2 months before they release the Dungeon Master's Guide. And it's just like, excuse me, you're about to change all the rules that we know and love, and you're going to give all this stuff to the players first, and then the DMs are going to be like stuck holding the bag on how to figure out the new
It is a little
rules.
ironic, isn't it? And that's not even mentioning that the Monster Manual only comes out the next year.
Yeah, the Monster Manual comes out in February.
Guys, let us take a moment to appreciate that the 2024 Monster Manual comes out in 2025.
Honestly, like, you're going to change the entire system and then spread it out so that, okay, September, Player's Handbook. The players get their classes, because it takes forever for players to figure out how to do any of that class stuff on their own without the DM's help. So now that gives the DM just enough time to wait till November to figure out how to play this new version of the game.
Oh my god. I know that you mentioned it. I hadn't thought of it that way, but it does make sense that the DM's guide should come first, right? The game doesn't exist without the DM, bro.
Honestly, like, you could get by with just like, I don't know why they're not released together.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be ideal. I mean, maybe delays. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the current dates of release are already the delayed ones, right? It was supposed to be originally earlier. So we're saying that, it's going to come out in 2024 and the Monster Manual is going to come out in 2025. We are assuming that the current release dates are going to be kept. We are assuming that there's not going to be any more delays.
It was bold of us to assume. How foolish. The classic blunder.
We are assuming that nothing else is going to happen. We don't know, you know.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the DMG should come out before anything else.
I do think
I'm looking at some of the little details for the Player's Handbook. Okay, you got your standard classes, which I'm already kind of like, excuse me, Artificer's not going in here?
They're gonna absolutely leave.
Like, what happens if you bring the new characters and stuff to your DM? He's like, I don't even have the books yet.
I don't even have the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Bro, what I
can't tell
imagine
you how this new D&D works.
There's absolutely gonna be like a transition period where everyone's still getting the books, either online or offline. But then again, you gotta remember that if you go to D&D Beyond, I'm pretty sure the classes, like the Player's Handbook classes, are free, right?
There's the Unearthed Arcana, and basically you can get all this stuff from there. It says that they're going to be doing 48 subclasses to start, which is a bit more than we had with. Well,
I think it goes 4 per class or something like that. Right?
Something like that, but
I think it's exactly that, 4 per class. Yeah,
that makes sense.
For a starter,
at first, but then you gotta also factor in, like, wizards have like a shit ton of subclasses when they start out.
They are absolutely gonna be like, bro. Did you see like the images that they roll out of like, this is the pre-order edition, this is the special edition?
Oh yeah, they're treating it like a video game. Like,
they went full video game. So if they're doing that now, like, if they're doing literally a battle pass, if they're doing that now, you can be absolutely sure. And they're gonna keep going full throttle on this even more throughout the next year. So get ready for the DLC packs, baby.
How many goblins do I have to kill to advance my battle pass? That's what I got.
Oh my god, they're already doing stuff like dice skins, digital dice skins.
I don't want the digital dice skins.
Icon frames for D&D, like the most random cosmetic shit, like, bro. You already know they're gonna keep doing that.
That's just something.
There's gonna be a lot of expansion packs, even more than before. Maybe we'll get an expansion pack of a new class, or just more subclasses. Maybe
more spells.
Man, I like the weapon mastery that they put in. Like, I was using a type of weapon mastery homebrew before all this, so like nothing really changes for me there. But like, what really gets me is like 144 character background options. Like,
for the new book.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nice. They don't know it was there.
It's always good to have a lot of options.
They probably got like all the backgrounds that are already official.
From the last ones, and they probably updated them.
Yeah, most likely to get up to that number. I mean, I honestly hope that with especially with this new video game approach, that we do get more classes. Because throughout the 10 years of 2014 to here from 5e, we only got Tasha's Artificer, and honestly speaking, it was the weakest design class of all of them.
Yeah, and
like, come on, man, they did not do that concept justice.
And just like,
it is one of my favorites as well, but not because it's well designed, it's because the concept is amazing.
Yeah, it's just
technology
fun,
is class.
You know?
Yeah, the technology and the flavor is fun, but like, speaking of design, and this is, I wouldn't say a consensus, but it's like, it's very like shared opinion on the community online that Artificer is either really weak or really don't get to do much a lot of the time, you know. That's why a lot of homebrew for Artificer is like fixes or new classes, alternate classes, subclasses that boost the power budget, stuff like that.
And sometimes like people are you look into it, it's just like some of these fixes end up getting overpowered because like there's so much to compensate for at times.
Yeah.
It's just like, ooh,
it can be a hard balance to strike, but it's really popular. I would say like Artificer is about the same in terms of how much people try to fix it, quote unquote, as the Martial Caster divide. And funnily enough, you just mentioned the Weapon Masters. Like the most common thing in fixes, quote unquote, to Martials, especially if you go like to the most popular ones, like Laser Llama's alternate classes. The most common thing is like, bro, look at the Battle Master. It's by far the best like fighter subclass. Why is it by far the best one? Because it's the only one that makes the fighter feel like what it should be.
Yeah, you gotta be tricky.
Be a subclass. It should be the main class.
You know, you should be
like everyone looked at that, and comes the realization. Wait a minute. What exactly causes the Martial Caster divide in the first place? What causes it? It's simple. Spellcasters have spells. What are spells? There are a million different options that offer you automatically customization, versatility, and dynamicity in combat and out of combat. Martials don't have anything, right? Yeah. And I get the whole approach.
Here's a guy with a weapon.
I get the whole approach that a lot of people have that is like, I prefer Martials being like completely weaker, quote unquote, and simplified because it's the perfect type of class to give to a new player because they literally only have to roll one dice every turn to attack and that's it.
Yeah.
So I get that approach, but I don't think that should be the norm. I think that should be an option.
Yeah, right? I agree with that because like one of the things that I look at when it comes to Martials is just like, if I'm going to play a Martial, I want to be cheeky. I want to be working with whatever I have available to make stuff happen. Okay, I got caltrips. I got ball bearings. Let's get tricky up in here. I want to be taking my weapon and like tripping them. Like hook swords would be amazing for something like that. Like you don't even see
that's my feel. Like if I'm going to be playing a martial character, it's because it's like there's a role or like a niche I'm trying to like fulfill, right?
Yeah.
So it's like outside of that, you're not gonna match up to a caster.
That's what I was getting into. Like, what do you do to like? Why does the divide exist? Because spellcasters have that, but martials don't. They are missing a counterpart, a martial counterpart to spells. And once the people looked at the Battle Master, they realized, bro, this is it. Like martial maneuvers. Every martial class should have their own exclusive martial maneuvers that make sense thematically. And that's exactly what Laser Llama did. That's why his alternate classes are so popular, because he took that and he did it. He did it for Rogue, he did it for Barbarian, he did it for Martial. And throughout the process of developing that concept, what did he also achieve? That there is another flaw on what is designed for the Martials. Bro, spellcasters, after a certain level, they are basically demigods. They are basically demigods. They can shape reality to their will, both figuratively and literally when you get to 9th level spells. Martials don't. Like, when you think of fantasy, and not just necessarily medieval fantasy, but fantasy in general, martial characters, a lot of the times, will have some of the coolest and craziest feats that you will see, especially if you look at anime. You look at One Piece, the guy's swinging a sword and cutting a mountain in half. Where is that kind of demigod fantasy for Martial? So he did that. For example, Barbarian. 5th level exploit, martial exploit, which is what Laser Llama calls it. Oh, if you jump from a height of 60 feet or more and land, you take no fall damage and you do a shockwave. That's it
right there. That's good stuff.
That's rule of cool incarnate, bro.
Look, you remember a while ago where I had that idea for a martial character that was like a dragoon, and he was all about like aerial maneuvers. Yeah, kind of like Final Fantasy. And he was like a leaper, and he had like aerial maneuvers and precision attack. And I feel like this is like exactly
like
what
fighting game characters, anime characters.
I was thinking like full insect blade from Monster Hunter. Like
Monster Hunter, exactly. The giant sword that you swing. And you like bitch slap a dragon in the face and makes it spin around.
And you
all of that is missing. All of that is missing. The martials in 5e always felt basic, and I get the whole and like, don't call it basic, but
I feel like Monster Hunter has like an idea for weapons and like fighting in general. Such a good basis for martial characters, especially with
like,
the
reason why
of weapons and the way that they're used.
No, it's a really good Monster Hunter is a great fucking example. But like, by the way, it's okay if I swear in here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just making sure because sometimes it just comes out. Yeah, but like Monster Hunter is a great example. But another thing that like, I myself understand that some people are pissed off with the whole stop calling fighters basic, stop calling martials basic, because they're not thinking of 5e specifically. They're thinking of the martial concept and fantasy as a whole. And absolutely, they're not basic as a whole. I just mentioned crazy examples. But and I also did like a meme subclass, the badass fighter, which actually got really popular on North Track.
Yeah, like you've been posting a lot of good stuff lately.
I made a meme. Yeah, I made that meme specifically like because of I don't know if you guys saw the Elder Scrolls trailer where there was a single knight fighting against 3 dudes, which happened to be a rogue, a barbarian, and a caster, and the knight just solos there, you know?
Yeah, you showed that to us a while back.
Yeah, I think I did, right?
Yeah, like, you did. I remember.
That was amazing because that became a meme, and I made a subclass based on that meme, exactly making fun of the whole, you think I'm basic? Well, here what I can do. I did that specifically making fun of that meme, but I can understand. I am self-aware enough to understand that meme exists for a reason. People say that for a reason. It's because mechanically speaking, 5e made them basic.
Yeah. And that's why like people look for so much identity and like power through weapons, right? Like it's the whole idea of like a magic weapon, giving magic to characters.
Yeah, items. Martials always need to get the most magic items to make up for the fact that they're not casters.
I did come up with some minor like little homebrew rules that kind of help with martials. Like one that we've been employing in our One Piece campaign is that instead of using the traditional jump rules, for example, just like because like traditional jump is like 8 plus like your strength modifier.
Yeah, and it still like uses your movement for that turn anyway.
Yeah, and then like you kind of like. I'd have to look it up again, but at any rate, basically the concept is like it's based on your strength modifier and doesn't get you very far. Yeah. And how I've been ruling it is using either your acrobatics or your athletics modifier instead, which goes significantly higher.
No, much better.
And then like and obviously I feel it's better to just simply rule that however high you can jump, you can no longer take fall damage if you land on your feet from any height that you could physically jump. Which is like,
that's an interesting way to do it. Like only martial classes can do that. Like something that they get that is exclusive to them. Because that's the thing. What happens is that casters can, they don't do it as well as martials, but they can still do anything that martials can. They can wield a weapon, they can get proficiency. Multi-class is a thing. Yeah. Like and martials don't really have that exclusive identity.
That's where you find
the only thing they do, you know.
People find their biggest loves in the mixes between the martial and the ninja. The fucking what is it like the Hex Knight and shit like that?
Hexblade, Witch Knight,
people love
Paladin. There's a reason why. There's a reason why the half casters like Paladin, which ended up being half martial, half caster, end up being so popular and so powerful. Because everyone more or less get a bit of both worlds.
Yeah, a little bit of both. And like I've always been a fan of the spell sword archetype. And back in 3.5, there was actually a variant class of sorcerer where you get, in exchange for less spell slots and whatnot, you actually get a buff to your hit die to make you beefier and more able to fight. So it's like kind of buffing up the sorcerer to be on par with something like the cleric, which is able to be a little bit more front line.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, so was that the Gish that I hear about sometimes?
There's just, I guess, because there's just so many things and options within 3.5 where it's just,
I imagine
there was just a million different things going on.
Yeah, 3.5 has a lot of content. But sorry, what were you saying, Tunga?
As far as martials go, right? I feel like I've always really liked the way that monks do it, where they're kind of their magic is their key, their
conceptually.
So if a fighter could have something similar like that, you know, the essence of the fighting spirit, you know.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. Laser Llamas just happened to be the most popular because I think he did it the best. His execution is amazing, and everyone that playtesters says the same, that it's incredible, including the guy D&D Shorts, the YouTuber that did
very familiar with
Ryoko's Guide, the Kickstarter. He posted a video recently talking about the new 2024 monk changes, and he literally says in the video, I still prefer Laser Llama's alternate monk.
The
Laser Llama's alternate monk is still better. It's crazy, right? So full endorsement. So Laser Llama's ones are the most popular because of that. But they're far from being the only ones. And they're far from being the only good ones, too. There are so many fixes, not only a monk, but in martials in general. And the one thing that is always common, if not completely present in every single one of them, you know what it is? The maneuvers.
Yeah.
So when I saw Weapon Mastery, I was literally like, yep, about what I expected.
Honestly, that's one thing.
Of course they're going to do that, because it's the same idea that everyone's been doing the last 5 to 6 years.
And even before that, back in 4th edition, because I played some 4th edition back in the day, back in high school. Basically, maneuvers and abilities, when those were ported over in 5th edition's creation, that basically became the subclass that everyone prefers here for the fighter, the Battle Master, where before it was just standard martial practice.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like in their attempt to streamline things, because credit where it's due. One of the big reasons why 5e was so successful and became more mainstream than D&D ever was before is because it was streamlined and simplified enough to be accessible to a wider audience, and still is, right? So I get it. The streamlining was absolutely the right choice. Credit where it's due. But I feel like in their attempt to streamline it, they missed the mark on martials. They neutralized the martial power and the fantasy so much that the divide was created.
So true.
That's how I think it happened, man. It's crazy. And one of the things that's funny is because I had seen Laser Llama's alternate rogue, and there was one feature in it that was Cunning Strike. Cunning Action? Cunning Strike, which is you can, the sneak attack damage dice, the extra damage dice for sneak attack, you can forego one or more of these dice to do a specific effect by each dice that you sacrifice. So forgo one damage dice, you can try to make them prone. Forgo another damage dice, you can try to apply this condition.
Okay. So I feel like rogues with the cunning action always should have had that as an option. Right?
Exactly. It's so it's so intuitive.
In pocket sand, try to blind.
Yeah, it's so intuitive. It's so right. So genius, so perfect, so fitting. So I was
throw a dagger as a cunning.
And then I saw the 2024 rogue.
Let him be the sneaky boy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I didn't do what they're supposed to do.
Rogues fight dirty. Let them fight dirty.
Exactly. And when I saw the 2024 rogue, I saw that they literally had Cunning Strike, the exact same feature. So I'm like, wait, what the hell? Are they just straight up copying Laser Llama? And then I was informed. Wait a minute. The reason why Laser Llama put that shit in his alternate class is because it was in 4E. He just brought back stuff from 4E.
It's literally just bringing back the good shit. Because
the moment I realized that, I was like, what the hell, Watsy? Why did you take those away in the first place?
Well, the thing is, with the fourth edition, like it's famously said by many people, like fourth edition was so balanced, you could throw that shit off a cliff and it bounced right back up, just the same as when you left it. Like there was tons of abilities that were just like reflavored for like from class to class. That'd be the basically cookie cutter, the same ability, and you'd have abilities that are once per encounter, like. Once per day,
maybe it wasn't 40. Maybe he brought it back from 3.5. It was
very possibly like 3.5 had tons of stuff.
He hadn't created that on his own mind. He looked at the older editions and brought back the best stuff. And I feel like that's possibly even harder to do properly, you know. So I was even more impressed by his work, and even more pissed off at Watson for even taking that away in the first place.
Yeah, it's really one of those things where being able to balance things and be a good game developer is one of the key things that make for just being good with D&D as a DM and a homebrew creator. And it's one of the reasons that Blizzard, like Blizzard is famous for like kind of incentivizing their people and game developers throughout their studio. Be like, hey, you play D&D? Good. That's exactly what we want here. Because
Blizzard, didn't we have news about them?
We do. So jumping back into some of our D&D news.
I always cared about Blizzard news. I'm always a bit scared.
You'll find this a little interesting.
Okay.
So WotC has appointed John Haidt, a former World of Warcraft executive, as their new president after nearly 3 months without one. Because as some of you may already know, Cynthia Williams had stepped down, and that seat had been gone for a while. No WotC president for like all this time. And then here they're like, okay, we need to bring in someone who appreciates D&D and someone who's got that game developer know-how. So in comes John Haidt with all of his experience with games like Hearthstone and Diablo 3.
Oh, this is recent, 2 days ago. Wow.
Yes. And so like he's got the tenure, he knows his shit. And with the appointment to WotC, he's going to be focusing on like digital initiatives, including like their VTT that they're working on and all their digital game stuff.
Oh, I just realized the video game stuff. They got a Blizzard guy to help on the video game approach.
Yeah, which is
just clicks.
I got mixed feelings now because like
it all just clicks. Oh my goodness!
Because
had to be a Blizzard guy, really.
They want to turn D&D into a video game because
he worked on Hearthstone. You said he worked on Hearthstone. Oh
yeah. The D&D game would kind of fuck. Like
no, man! If they do what they did to Hearthstone,
they did it right.
Like it's one of those things where I have mixed feelings because clearly this guy has a good track record and like he's worked with some of the best stuff that Blizzard has done, and Blizzard has done some amazing stuff. But like, and they have a lot of in like Blizzard's like little employee culture, they have a lot of respect for D&D, and I'm hoping that this guy has that for the actual product. But the thing is, ultimately what WotC wants is they want to turn D&D into a video game that they can just market and not have to sell the physical stuff.
Market and monetize.
Yeah, and regardless if it's like this is coming more from Hasbro or not, the fact of the matter is still that WotC is doing this. The result is the same. So.
It really is. And honestly, it's not... I get why they're doing it. I really do. I just don't like it. Because, like, let's say back to the early 2000s, Sony selling PS2s and whatnot. Now, the thing about when they were selling the PS2 is that it was being sold at a loss. Like, Sony was actually losing money on every PS2 unit sold.
Wow,
and it was all in hopes of making their money back on the games sold, which they absolutely did, which led to the PS2 being one of the greatest consoles of all time in that regard. So so basically what we're seeing here is a similar mentality where it's just like, if you lose money on like having to create hard, real stuff like books, dice, minis.
Not to mention the shipping.
The shipping.
And it's also with the way, like the future of like production is going. We're moving towards a less physical reality.
Yeah, I mean, when they sell you a digital book, it's the same price as the book. It's the same price as the physical book minus the production costs. So
why the fuck are digital games the same price as marketing?
No, yeah, absolutely. And another thing, that's the thing that a lot of people complain about is like, for as long as you're still producing physical books, if I buy a physical book, I absolutely need to gain a fucking code to get the digital version.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn sense.
I've been feeling that for years.
No damn sense. That is just scummy as hell, man.
Yeah, it's just like,
scummy as hell.
Dude, I buy me a physical book, and then if I want to do anything with any of the online services they offer, get fucked, Orion. You better start resorting to piracy for something you already own, and you're an asshole if you pirate it. And it's just like,
I love that phrase that also gets thrown around nowadays. Like, if buying is not owning, then piracy isn't stealing, bitch. I love that. I love that little flip that people are doing there.
Funny. I mean, that meme tickles the One Piece lover in me,
Tickles the mind.
Yeah.
Man. But sadly, like me being a Hearthstone player, I'm sadly not really optimistic with this new guy. Because man, Hearthstone is the game is year after year is getting lower budget, more power creep, terrible balancing, just non-existent balancing at this point. The power creep is unreal.
Yeah.
And more microtransactions, and the players can get less and less way to accumulate gold, including like not even 3 months ago, not even 2 months ago, there was a big controversy from the Hearthstone community, which was like they tried pushing an update, which I shit you not, tripled the amount of work and time they had to spend to do the daily quests, the daily and weekly quests.
Really?
So it was like, the typical daily quest, play 5 games, right?
Yeah,
they upped that to 15.
Classic.
They upped that to 15. The same, and you gain less experience for it too. It was insane. It was so much controversy. So many people leaving the game for the 17th time.
I used to play Hearthstone,
and then they backtracked. But look what they did. They backtracked to only a little increase.
Only a little bit.
This is a tactic. This is a tactic that companies ought to do.
Yeah, it's called the big ass.
They do like a change that is purposely draconian, in the word,
something so horribly bad,
and then they back it up a little, and people are like, okay, at the very least they listen, right? Oh, they listen. Really. The end result, it was still worse than it was before. It's a tactic. They know that now. They just do that all the time. It sucks.
Dude, I wish I was scummy enough to pull shit like that. I'd be so much further in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way it has to be. You have to play the market games in order to make it anywhere.
I could not do that in good conscience. Like,
man, how much happier would I be if I was a sociopath?
You just working at the place that I work at now, selling the shit for as expensive as it is. I feel bad.
Did you play Hearthstone before, Tonga?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, same here. I used to be really into Hearthstone. Honestly, my heyday in Hearthstone was about 9-10 years ago, back when they released mechs, and I was the only guy around running a Warlock mech deck, because nobody else would run it, and it worked so well.
Came out, it was my big thing.
There's a very niche even today. Imagine 10 years ago. Wow, that's great.
These days, I do still play a lot of those kind of card games. I play a lot of League of Runeterra, shit like that.
Oh, you play Legend of Runeterra
lately?
Yeah, the Digimon card game. Hell yeah.
I played a little bit of Runeterra. Couldn't fully get into it because it was still starting out, so
yeah,
it wasn't exactly completely perfect and functional. And I was still playing Hearthstone anyway. I can only dedicate myself to one digital card game. It's impossible.
Yeah, honestly, juggling multiple is dude, there's only so much bathroom time in the day.
Yeah,
they do their PvE battle pass or whatever really well.
You mean the Runeterra, right?
Yeah.
There's one thing that I think they always got right from the beginning, but it's sad because it's not as popular as they needed it to be.
Yeah, I think more games need to use that as like an example. Like in card games, especially, there needs to be like a PvE. Build your decks, like get used to the characters. Whatever.
Absolutely.
I get that.
Basically free.
Any digital card game, especially, like needs that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And it's just like you gotta be able to work with the free-to-play players and not kind of drive them away with the power creep. Like, that's something that the Pokemon card game online does exceptionally well. They have the best battle pass system that I've seen because, like, you don't have to go all in on it, but you're able to earn the stuff if you play a season regularly to be able to get the premium pass if you budget your stuff out just right.
Yeah, what Blizzard does is terrible. Like they push out grind, and they go like, no, hold up, we are not hostile to free to play players. We want to convert them to paid players.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna say that you can play the game free to play, but it's gonna suck, right? The typical approach is gonna suck.
It's even worse than that, actually. Yeah. It's hostile towards casual players.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even paid players who play casually, they get screwed over by that shit.
Yeah,
a lot of these games
that's
just
why I left Overwatch
towards the pro players.
They shouldn't do that. Pro players are always an absolute minority.
Esports these days, they only care about that.
No, it's ironic because Hearthstone's fucking esports scene was just assassinated by Blizzard themselves.
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, like Blizzard, like they had a good run. But then they just start running their own shit into the ground. Hearthstone and Overwatch being the chief examples. Like, I used to love Overwatch. I really did. But then Overwatch 2 came out and it's like, oh, wow. But thanks,
it's the same fucking
guys.
Game.
Like,
it's the same game. Bro. They made it free to play. They took away content that I paid for, mind you.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Like, you don't get to keep your skins. Like...
Yeah, and then, like, on top of that, like, Sam, our mutual communist friend, telling me that I'm acting entitled because I paid for a game and now I have less features in it. It's like, get fucked, dude. I paid for this.
It was literally a fuck you to anyone who liked the original Hearthstone. Like,
and we're not even touching on not even elephant, the hippopotamus in the room, which was
honestly.
Oh my god.
We're not even touching upon that. Imagine. Jesus.
Yeah.
They gutted that game. Like it was
I miss old school Magic.
And then Overwatch 2 was like, hey, you know what you did like about Overwatch 1? We took all of that, put it in this box. Stomped on it a few times and then gave it back to you.
Yeah. By the way, there's less things in the box than when you started.
Yeah, it's like Patrick going, what if we take the good things and put it somewhere?
The things that were in the box cannibalized each other.
Damn.
Man, it's sad.
Y'all see these fucking D&D stamps that they're pushing now?
Dude, the stamps go... Okay, hold on. My girlfriend is a big, like, she sends letters and shit all the time. She was in the post office, and she sent us pictures of the D&D stamps.
I'm going to pull those up, actually. There we go. Like, I'm pulling them up on the stream here.
Stamps, like, for mailing and stuff.
Oh, mail stamp. I didn't know there were D&D mail stamp. Wasn't aware.
Yeah, we got like an owl bear, a little red dragon, gelatinous cube. Let's see.
You said you were putting up on the stream. Where exactly?
I posted the stream to the general chat.
Oh, okay. Wait, general or D&D general?
Just general.
Okay. Oh, YouTube Live. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, like I saw some of them because like
cool. Oh, the mimic one is awesome. What the fuck?
I like the mimic one. Like the Displacer Beast kind of looks anorexic, but you know, whatever.
Is it just me? Is it just me, or does this artwork remind me of the Pathfinder artwork?
You know what? I could see that. That gelatinous cube I like. Particularly, but if I scroll up here, like you see this whole little portrait thing, and then like sections of it are individual stamps. So you got like
look at that,
we got a Gith fighter. We got like a little.
I think they got a good selection here of iconic creatures.
Yeah,
if not the most iconic creatures from D&D.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's for the 50th anniversary. It's like,
they're doing a lot of things for that. That's cool. Mail stuff. It's interesting.
Ooh, there's all kinds of stuff up in here. Honestly, what WotC should have really doubled, if they were going to double down on anything when it comes to D&D and Magic,
it should have been physical merch.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like that, and the crossover between D&D and Magic.
Yeah,
it's just like that was one of my favorite sets.
Yeah,
and doubling down on that, it's like, okay, you could just be like, hey, we got cool playmats, we got more cool dice, got more cool tokens. Oh,
yeah, man.
And then all of a sudden, stuff that you got from your Magic stuff, you can start using that for your D&D. Like,
I think it's such a missed opportunity because, like, you gotta realize that when it comes to like D&D, we play digitally, and we kind of were forced to stop playing digitally more and make digital options better and more accessible because of the pandemic. So I get it, but at the same time, D&D is still a tabletop RPG. Right?
Yeah.
Tabletop means physical.
That's it's like roots.
D&D merch is physical merch. Dice are physical things. We make digital versions of the physical, but the physical came first.
Yeah, like exactly.
D&D merch is like dice, custom dice, custom dice trays, custom dice towers. Those things make a lot of money. There's a whole market of D&D merch and tabletop.
Yeah, like tons of people are in that market.
Why not capitalize on that or instead of making digital stuff that is only going to be usable in your own platform? You're going to try to monopolize digital platforms for tabletop?
I mean, like, digital stuff you're never going to really own because they can just, just say a server gets EMP'd. Oh, well. You know what I mean?
It's literally the TFT argument all over again.
You'll never own anything that way. And it's just like, I'm never happy about that. Because, like, what are you going to do?
Like, imagine there was one thing.
Owning things? How dare you?
Ownership is not something we believe in.
We don't tolerate this here.
God damn. We don't do that here.
I mean, the whole industry is kind of like falling apart here and there. I mean, the last piece of nerd news I got here is actually about a nerd news outlet shutting down. Dicebreaker.
What? Wait. I know that. What the fuck?
Yeah, Dicebreaker. I used to get a lot of our articles from Dicebreaker. And...
what?
Yeah.
Dicebreaker shutting down?
It was acquired by IGN in May and ended up shutting down in June.
Of course.
And they're all like, for unforeseen circumstances.
Bro, the IGN just literally buy it to kill it so they can remove competition? Is that what happened?
That's a strategy. It is.
Wow.
So I'd believe it. If you told me that's exactly what they did, I'd be like, yep, I see it.
Oh, that's awful. I do not like that whatsoever. What?
It's crazy. Sam, before we get too far off, you got us some monster for this week?
Ooh.
Kind of. I have a monster topic, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I got the stinger.
Oh, that's perfect.
Sam's monster.
Wait a minute. Did someone actually sing that? Did someone actually sing that? What?
I believe you used
I used AI to make that, and like I know it's a controversial thing, but it just came out so nice.
Nah, I don't mind it whatsoever. That was really funny. I was like, oh yeah, they found the music which has someone mentioning like a creature of the week. That's so perfect. Sam's
yeah.
Hold up.
I had to stop it early just because like that solo goes on for a minute.
So yeah, I kind of wanted to. I feel like lately in the news, like cryptids have been like a big like.
There has been a resurgence.
They're coming back. They're very popular in like the physical, merch and shit like that and everything. I always love cryptids, So I've been thinking, A dragon is a tale told for as long as humans and elves. Yeah. What about the more unusual shit, right? The more mundane creatures, maybe a little harder to believe for the usual NPC or farmer, in their sheltered lives for what may or may not truly exist. They've heard the tavern stories of a adventurer felling a dragon, right? But what about the weird creatures that stalk their farms, right? Shit like that.
Like the chupacabra?
Yeah, like the chupacabra.
Hell yeah.
So first, what is a cryptid, right? So a cryptid is a creature that is not known to science or a general mass of people. Therefore, it's classified as a myth or folk tale surrounding whether or not it truly exists, usually based on or surrounded by particular cultures or belief systems. Right, so you have like the Native Americans, they have like their Thunderbird. They're very like religious in their belief of nature spirits, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I do kind of have a few that I want to talk about to kind of come from different cultures and places around the world. Right. So I do have the Thunderbird as my first one.
Ooh, that does sound cool because growing up, I was very involved with some of the tribal stuff because I have a lot of Native American heritage, and it was always cool when I'd hear some the elders around talk about some stuff like the Thunderbird.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they have tons of creatures and spirits and stuff like this. So a cryptid of indigenous North American legend, the Thunderbird is usually depicted as an incredibly large hawk or eagle-shaped bird with the ability to create thunder with each beat of its wings. So imagine your party could meet it while in the wide open plains, on an airship headed for a different land, or maybe even in the mountains, aligned with some local storm giants. Whether a boss or a friendly druidic companion, the Thunderbird would make quite an addition to nearly any adventure, and any lore, just in your adventure too. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah. It's wild to think of you got a world full of all these crazy things, and then somewhere in there's a line between what is known, everybody knows that dragons exist,
Right.
and then it's okay, well, this monster on the other hand, crazy, that's not real.
Speaking of this Thunderbirds, check out what I posted in general. It just reminded me of this.
I gotta pull up my thing.
Oh, the Lightning Phoenix.
It really reminded me of this card.
Nice.
Ooh.
That is really cool.
Came straight on my mind when you mentioned it. Really cool.
That is pretty cool.
What was that other one that I was talking about? That bird.
Yeah, about the cryptids?
Yeah, there was another one I wanted to talk about. It was called the... second.
Yeah, cryptids are awesome. They absolutely belong on D&D for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, I think it's so cool.
It's something I've been honestly seeing more and more over the years. Since I started doing homebrew, a lot specific races and boss encounters. I've seen a lot of Mothmans. I've seen a lot of Mothman homebrews.
Man. I love a good Mothman.
He's my favorite.
I've seen a lot of those.
Mothman is my favorite.
Funnily enough, I think I've seen some South American cryptids as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because Plank here wants to know about some Brazilian cryptids.
Oh, he had mentioned that before.
There is one that I picked. Called the. Now, forgive me if I say this wrong.
Oh, you mean a Brazilian cryptid?
Nahilito from Argentina.
Nahil.
An Argentinian.
Can you spell that?
Nahuelito.
Yeah.
It's exactly as I thought it was gonna be. Oh, there's a U. Okay, Nahuelito.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a lake monster, kind of resembling the Loch Ness monster.
Very similar, actually. Yeah.
Nahuelito lives in Nahuelhuapi Lake in the Patagonia region of Argentina. It has been described as a giant serpent, or as such like a plesiosaur. There have been reports of the creature going back to the late 1800s. Press coverage didn't really begin until 1922. The Buenos Aires Zoo has been trying to find evidence of a plesiosaur ever since.
I can't blame them. That'd be quite the attraction.
Yeah. Zoologist Clemente Onelli has contributed funds for an attempt to find evidence, but to date there is still no proof. Today, the small lake is called Laguan del Plesiosaurio, or
Plesiosaurio.
The last reported sighting was April 2006 by an anonymous photographer who dropped off 2 photos at a local newspaper.
He must have been chased by the FBI or some shit. It's like, I gotta get these photos away. I gotta go.
That one
I got an anonymous
tip.
Let me just slide these across the table.
I didn't know about this one because it's definitely a very local one, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that popular on the whole South America.
There's another one.
There is one that from my country, which is like definitely more popular in the whole country itself. Can't say for outside of Brazil, but it's definitely like a Brazilian in general cryptid.
Yeah.
And personally, I think it's the coolest one, which is the boitata.
The boitata.
Basically a flaming demon giant.
Oh my god, that's cool.
Ooh, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna
that
ask if there was any that like you had heard of.
Yeah, I'm gonna show that to some of the viewers here.
Cool as hell.
Yeah, I like that.
Holy shit.
Crazy. Oh yeah, there's also like the headless mule, which is basically like a mule. Yeah, a headless mule, but instead of being just fully headless, it's like it has a giant flame instead of its head.
Dude, that's like
very simple, but yeah.
That's
also
like if an Ifrit merged with a Doulahan.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
like it was a horse.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like these kind of things would be crazy. Like there's this other one I saw from Chile, and it's called the Alicanto. It's a luminescent bird that's found in mines and caves. There says their feathers are metallic colors and shine in the darkness.
Okay.
And that there were apparently 2 kinds. One of them feeding on silver and the other on gold.
So they just eat valuable, precious metals.
Yeah, sometimes they would eat so much that they would get too heavy to fly. And whichever they ingested would dictate what color they were.
Oh, interesting. So if you see a silver one, you already know he ate silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
And it would kind of indicate to the miners and such nearby that there were silver deposits nearby.
Okay, so one of these birds is useful for fighting werewolves, and the other is good for like.
Funny enough, speaking of werewolves, you know the funniest thing? Another like folktale, specifically Brazilian folktale, it's literally just the werewolf.
Really?
Like it's funny because we learned about that in school since we were very little. We are already familiar with the concept of werewolves from a very young age because it was part of our folk tales. And then then eventually I just realized, wait, it's not a Brazilian thing, it's just a general fantasy thing.
Really?
Yeah. But it also just happens to be a specifically Brazilian folk tale for some reason. And there's no difference. It's literally just, full moon, same thing. Beat for beat. It's so funny how that
it's
works.
crazy where you can find stuff like that. Like there's actually like some local reports from like 15 years ago in my area, like in a town that I used to live in. That like something about some werewolf type activity, but it was never confirmed because like
of course.
I always find it interesting how different countries like that always have like similar, like cryptids or like.
I mean, to be fair, if you think about it, like if it had been confirmed, quote unquote, then it wouldn't really be an urban legend now, would it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, that's kind of what really makes them fun, like.
Yeah.
Oh man, I always love this topic of like different countries and like they're crazy like fucking, because like I was looking at other ones and there's like African or like Kenyan
that got some crazy stuff.
I saw this one.
Nice.
It's called the Donganek. It was apparently a 14-foot long, the head marked and shaped like a leopard. It was as big as a lioness. The creature had 2 long tusks coming down from its upper jaw like a walrus and had scales like an armadillo.
Wow.
that
kind of sounds like a boosted saber tooth.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, as if they needed any extra. Dude, I don't even know how I would stat one of those out. I'd probably just throw it into ChatGPT.
It was called
Scaled
the
Sabertooth sounds crazy for a stat block. Not gonna lie. Goddamn.
Yeah, it was known as the Jungle Walrus.
The Jungle Walrus. Okay. I'm gonna make a stat block for that right.
I'm brewing that right now.
Oh yeah, there's an illustration for it. It does kind of look like a giant snake in this picture.
Okay, let's see. It'd be size class huge.
Jungle Walrus.
Jungle.
With armor plates like an armadillo.
Damn, bro. No, for real. Like armored boosted Sabertooth from steroids, bro.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things. I just think it's such a cool topic that could be, could be utilized. You could just get really creative and be like, I thought it was really freaky creature.
Folklore is like an endless font of inspiration, bro. Yeah. And fantasy content in general. It's like a treasure trove if you're willing, right, to dive deep, I guess. Willing to dive deep and have the interest to back it up.
See, this is one of the, like, a lot of people shit on ChatGPT, but its ability to take a description of a cryptid and pump out an entire stat block in a matter of seconds.
What did it come up
You're
with?
probably gonna have to balance that stat block still, but
probably it's a CR8 from the looks of it. But let me I'm gonna put it up on stream right here.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. So we got an AC 16, like over 168 hit points. Got a swim speed and a land speed.
Oh,
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so 40-foot speed. That's pretty fast.
You said it was on the string?
Yep, I just put it up on there. Like the stream might be.
I see.
Yeah, dark vision, damage resistance to piercing. Okay.
I mean, that makes sense.
A keen smell. The jungle walrus has advantage on perception checks. It's amphibious.
How? Wait, I'm a little curious. Have you done this before, ChatGPT? Is it already used to these kinds of requests? That's why it was so like.
Well, actually, ChatGPT is very, very intimately familiar with D&D, so it's very easy to get stat blocks out of it.
Oh wait a second. Let me understand. Is ChatGPT like constantly updating itself with every single request that everyone in the world that uses it gives it? It's like a shared like database.
I'm not entirely certain, but probably.
Because that would explain it. Oh, so many people have already made it do D&D things. And whenever you go and ask a D&D thing, it's already used to it. So few seconds. That would make sense to me.
And like obviously, like it would have lots of information on like kind of common knowledge stuff and like the intricacies of things.
Or it just
so like
takes it from the internet, I guess.
Yeah, like it would have tons of like internet stuff for D&D to kind of vibe off of.
Again?
I just can't help but look at ChatGPT and have this feeling, this specific sentence come in my head every single time, and the sentence is, "I can't believe my little Skynet is this cute." My little Skynet can be this cute.
He just wants to learn stuff, man.
Every single time I hear someone mention ChatGPT, anyway,
it gave us flavor text.
My mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
The
Did
huge
you guys
jungle walrus
have you ever heard of like
beast that roams.
Have you ever heard of
jungles.
Oh my god. Have you ever heard of the AI VTuber Neural Summer?
I have. Yeah.
It's so fucking funny because at this point she just became to me the face of Skynet, the face of ChatGPT, the face of AI in general. Every time I hear something AI, it's not Cortana that comes into my mind. You know, it's not Clippy. It's Neuro. It's that anime girl looking at me. It's impossible to stop it. It's just getting like anime is taking over, AI is taking over. Anime AI, you're done, bro.
Dude, the moment they made it adorable, we were cooked. You know.
Oh my god. My little Skynet can't be this cute. It's over. It's so over.
Well, man, I found the myth and folklore wiki page for the boy Tata. That's so cool.
Dude, you could just straight copy paste descriptions of things and be like, "Yo, give me a stat block, ChatGPT," and then you could just like, okay, You have a full, robust outline.
I'm curious. I want you to try doing something for me if you're willing.
All
Put
right,
a description of yourself. What is your stat block? What is the Orion stat block?
Okay, give me a stat block for the
describe yourself in a phrase and let's see what happens with the Orion stat block. I'm very curious.
Okay.
You have to mention that you're bald.
For the balding podcast host.
Imagine if you get a trait for it. It gives you +1 in AC. Oh, even better. If every time someone attacks you, they have to make a saving throw to avoid getting blinded by the light of your baldness. It's like the Dragon Ball, Krillin with the shining forehead movement attacks something. I'm pretty sure there's that DBZ attack that he just puts his hands on his head and his bald forehead just shines and blinds people. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Imagine if you get an action like that for your stat block.
Okay.
Or even better, imagine if it just gives you the Gandalf beer and you get a +1 to AC because of it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Is it on the string?
I'm gonna pull it up in just a moment because it's still processing.
Okay.
Okay. Chaotic good. It's off. It gets me.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Good start.
Orion the Artificer Bard.
Ooh, I can see it.
Wow.
I've been told by people in the past that I'm like an Artificer Bard. So
Definitely.
It would be your preferred multi-class to represent yourself, not a character, but yourself. Right?
Yeah. Because I like to tinker around with stuff, so I feel that.
Yeah, I think you're very handsy, You're a very outgoing personality.
A little handsy, huh?
I think CR5 is rather generous, but I'll take it.
You like to get your hands on?
Yeah. Magical tinkering, infused items, spell casting.
Okay, it literally is Artificer Bar. Okay.
Yeah. But okay, so in the D&D setting, if you were to exist as you are, I feel like this would be...
It has flavor text.
Oh, okay.
Orion is a charismatic and intelligent artificer bard, known for his quick wit, technical expertise, and captivating voice. His balding head and well-groomed beard give him a distinctive look that complements his role as a podcast host. Orion is always tinkering with gadgets or composing new tunes, seamlessly blending his love for artifice and music. Whether crafting magical items or performing inspirational melodies, Orion is a valuable ally and a formidable foe.
Dude, I could literally see your weapon is like a staff with a microphone on it.
No, like my one Digimon?
Is such a good concept. It's such a good
concept. God. You have a bunch of sound-based
microphone
attacks.
staff is crazy.
Oh, man, I can see it.
Dude, I'll straight have you guys fight Orion in D&D.
It's gonna be it's perfect because for spellcasters, staffs are spellcasting focus, are arcane focus, right? For bards, musical instruments are their focus.
Yeah,
this is both.
That works.
This is a double focus, bro.
You know what's funny about that? I'm actually really good with a bow staff because I did a lot of martial arts training when I was in high school.
Donatello coded?
Yeah. I mean, Donatello is like my favorite Ninja Turtle.
I can see it.
Hell yeah. I really like Raphael.
Your inspirations and shit.
I'm a big fan of Raphael. I love it. Have you guys ever seen it's an old one, an old CG movie of the Ninja Turtles where Raphael becomes a vigilante and he has his armored...
I believe that's the 2007 movie.
TMNT, right?
Yep, I know the one.
I think that was the best one by far of all the Turtles movies. It was so good. And I remember
it was hilarious that Leonardo goes away to South America to train and get better. It comes back and then gets clapped.
And the cool thing about it is that it had a game, right?
Yeah,
I
loved
playing that video game when I was little, man. I love playing as Raphael. I shit you not. He literally had a mechanic where he could accumulate rage. He had a rage bar. So you kept getting hits or on you, like taking damage or killing enemies, and the bar kept going up. When he reached the top, you unlock the special move or literally just go, and then the screen gets red and everything dies.
It was like a
sweeper. It was like literally Chaos Blast from Shadow the Hedgehog or something.
I can see that. That's fantastic.
I love Raphael. I love it.
Dude, Ninja Turtles goes hard on so many things. You know the 2014 Ninja Turtles had a obligatory D&D episode.
What?
They always have one.
What?
Everything always has
like they had a. But honestly, the D&D episode where they end up playing with like this like someone throws away a starter set for D&D and they're like, guys, let's play this. And they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to do this. And then they meet this mutant that does like this mind controlling thing, and then like brings them into a whole fantasy setting.
Oh, interesting.
Wait, but thinking about the four of them in like Splinter sitting down at the table and like reading off their character
That's
sheets.
amazing.
Honestly,
you said it was a 2014 series that did the D&D episode?
A lot of people really shit on that series, but it had some real gems. It was pretty well done in certain regards. Like,
it's not the best one.
Yeah, that was the Nickelodeon one.
I see.
One of the things that they did one episode that really stands out in my mind was the episode where Michelangelo meets Napoleon Bonafrog, which is 100% based on Napoleon Dynamite.
Frog?
What?
Yeah, he's a mutant frog it's just frog Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh my god. Wait, I have to see it. What is this?
It's amazing. It really is.
Napoleon Bonafrog. Wow. Napoleon Bonafrog, bro.
Is that not the best name? Like, I gotta play a grung now. That's Napoleon Bonafrog.
Oh, what? There are various designs of him too, and somehow each one is uglier than the other.
It's hilarious,
bro. I can't even tell which one of these is the 2014 one. But they're all fucking ugly.
Okay, I'll have to.
Okay, I found the 2014 one. That it looks hideous.
A lot of people really didn't care for the animation style, but like overall, I think the series did pretty well. Like, it had some funny stuff.
I never watched it.
The Donatello being in love with April subplot was a little weird. It's like, dude, just drop this. But like the whole thing,
didn't even know about that. But look at this. Look at this hideous thing. Look at this living cryptid right here.
Honestly, Napoleon Bonafrog, but
that's
cryptid.
That's the cryptid.
That's it, right?
That's the cryptid.
Oh my god, this thing's gonna haunt my nightmares.
Yeah,
that's really what you would tell your kids to, keep them inside. And
he's got a fanny pack.
It really puts
the whole episode. He straight talks like the Napoleon Dynamite. Everything. He's like, "Ugh, my whole tribe's just a bunch of idiots."
Okay, gosh, yeah, it was absolutely. They don't appreciate me. Right? Absolutely unintentional, right? A walking reference of a character. You know what? That's fun. I can fuck with that.
Like, that's how. Honestly, I gotta throw Napoleon Dynamite in my next campaign.
Yeah, just do the frog.
Do the frog. Napoleon Bonafrog.
Wrong NPC. It works. If it works, it works.
All right, I feel like now is a good time to slide over into our homebrew.
Slide over.
Slide to the
Lots of fun. Excellent.
Dude, it's been too long since I've heard Generic Realm.
Time to slime over to the homebrew.
Got him.
Slime time.
Got him.
That was on our Gelatinous Cube episode way back.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so do you want to start or should I, Sam?
I'll go ahead.
All right.
I bring to you all the Graveyard Gum featured from the Rudolph's Tavern.
Graveyard Gum.
Graveyard Gum?
Yeah.
Wait, is that an ooze?
No, it's a tool.
Oh, okay. If it was an ooze, I'd be like, God damn, we really are sliming into this.
Yeah,
rare adventure.
I love the way it looks.
It looks interesting. I can't imagine putting
on the
that
screen. Oh, I can see it now. Oh, I know Rudolph's Tavern. I follow him on Instagram.
Sam, I'm gonna step away just for a moment because my wife's been blowing up my phone. Be right back.
No problem. I'll go ahead and take this.
You want us to wait for you?
Nah, you got this, Sam.
All right. So we've talked about Rudolph's Tavern before. I've featured a ton of their stuff. I always love to see just kind of like the little oddballs. I was scrolling through some Pinterest earlier, and I thought this seems interesting. So this clump of sticky taffy can be broken apart into 1d4 plus 1 separate skulls. Wow. Upon eating a skull, the user must make a DC 12 con saving throw. On successful save, the user is seen by any undead creature as if they were charmed by them, regardless of immunity to being charmed.
It's a literal gum that you can eat. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Hostile actions against creatures under its effect and the effect for that creature.
Oh, wow.
So you effectively become like camouflaged into looking like an undead for them, I guess.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Like a Halloween candy or something.
Yeah. The user also gains immunity to necrotic damage and vulnerability to radiant damage for 1 hour.
Ooh.
The user is also aware of any undead within a 100-foot radius of them at the start of their turn. Additionally, the user is able to summon up to 1d4 zombies or skeletons, which will follow simple commands and have their turn immediately after the user ends their turn. Should the user fail their save, they fall asleep for 1d4 hours, counting as a long rest, but may not be awakened in the interim by anything short of a wish spell. The gum cannot be consumed for a full 1d4 days after.
Okay.
So you eat it, fail the save, you pass out. Eat it, succeed, you are able to pass by undead, unsuspected, gain immunity to necrotic damage, as if you were an undead. And you become kind of a beacon, and you can detect any nearby, as well as summon some zombies or skeletons.
What's the rarity on this one?
It says rare.
Rare, but it is a consumable, right? So once you consume it,
there are 1d4 separate skulls.
So you can roll roll low and just one. Okay, it's consumable.
1d4 plus 1, yeah. So up to a maximum of 5.
And to a minimum of 2. Makes sense.
Yeah. Sam, you're familiar with Auntie Bobble's candy shop. This is going in there.
This kind of gave me the same feel. I imagine she could sell this.
Oh yeah, didn't you mention they were trying to was it you who mentioned they were trying to make no, it was another person. There was another guy that I know that was mentioned that they were trying to make a setting which is like a grocery shop, like an interdimensional grocery shop. Because you see interplanar taverns, right?
The damn infinite
taverns. They was trying to do a grocery shop.
I'm pretty sure that's an episode of Star versus the Forces of Evil.
It might as well be.
There's an SCP. That's the infinite IKEA.
Like a grocery shop, just like the modern ones that we see, but it's full of fantasy stuff, like an interdimensional that anyone can go,
Yeah, I think that's kind of loosely a part of what the Radiant Citadel was supposed to be.
Oh,
the Radiant Citadel is supposed to be like a little hub city in between all these dimensions with all these little portals to go all over the place.
I'm pretty sure there are supposed to be cities like that just roaming around in the astral plane too.
That's essentially what the Radiant Citadel is, more or less. So it's just it's one of the books I have on my shelf. So it's I use it from time to time.
Good to know that there is some use to be found.
Yeah, I really like this item. I was also thinking I could see just being craftable, something I kind of wanted to start thinking about is if I were to put this in my game and I was if someone wanted to craft something what would be the components, right? So I could see you using obviously you need like a high power undead, part. I would imagine you need like some type of gum, maybe like a ooze or something.
The crafting part is what that would be interesting, right? How would you make how are you gonna recraft this horror candy that you found in the
right? I imagine like a high powered alchemist, given the right materials, some undead, bits, some like maybe an ooze or a slime or something.
That could be interesting.
Some necromantic.
The crafting part sounds like it could be awesome.
Yeah, it could be cool. Yeah, I like it. Something I would use does kind of have like a niche usage, or it could be just like a necromantic type character who just has this. He's like, I like to chew on some gum sometimes.
That looks awesome.
Maybe like a substance that's like a kind of like comes out of certain like undead creatures. Like got
you don't realize it's consumable initially, and then you have to try and he had a random another hinged character to try and just eat it for some reason. Then it's like, no. Oh wait, it actually is consumable. Oh okay.
Yeah. Like someone on the road is like, oh yeah, if you go kill those things, like you might be able to get one of these things.
I'm going to get one of these.
They pop it in their mouth. They're like, it doesn't taste that good, but lets you sneak by the undead pretty unseen. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like something you'd have to kill like an undead to get. I think that'd be a fun idea.
I like it. What did you bring?
Well, I have the Void Touch spell.
Ooh, I love. All right, you know how much I love Void shit, and
that's cool.
Yep, I'm all about like that kind of Void. Like, I think the art for this looks nice. This is by Snack Daddy Games.
Ooh, what a great name! Goddamn.
Right, and it's for
Snack Daddy.
Right. I think we know who brings the snacks to his sessions.
Ooh.
Okay, so
bring his snacky back.
This is for sorcerers, warlocks, and witches. I'm guessing utilizing that little
probably a homebrew, right?
Yeah, it's one of those homebrew classes that you find on what is it? Drive-through RPG.
Yeah, probably one that they made, right? Most likely.
Yeah, probably. So I like the little thing they got up in the corner here. That's kind of cool.
Snack that again.
Yeah. He's just like,
I know this guy. I've seen him on Reddit a lot, actually.
Yeah, he posts some good stuff from time to time. So
I like the way he does the visuals. I love his little character.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, very good branding on his part. So let's see. Void Touch, Cantrip, Necromancy, 1 action, range touch. Components are verbal and somatic. It's instant. Make a melee attack against a creature within range. Well, melee spell attack. On a hit, the creature takes 1d6 psychic damage and suffers a penalty to its next attack roll, or saving throw equal to the number on the d6. Okay? Spell's damage increases by a d4 when you reach 5th level, 11th level, and 17th level. That's unusual. Usually cantrips scale by the initial damage die.
1d6 and d4, 1d6 and 2d4
damage.
1d6 and 5d4.
The text is a little confusing, but I think you should go by what is in
parentheses. Oh, I see. Right? I see.
Yeah,
you should definitely go for what is in parentheses here. Both dice increase by one size.
So the 1d6 stays the same because that's the penalty die.
Oh no! Only 6 stays the same. Interesting.
Yeah. So
I never really think
penalty
sure specify that.
And the damage die, and then the additional 1, 2, and 3.
That's an interesting mechanic. I could see that tripping people up here and there, but it's simple enough.
I like it. Yeah. It keeps the you can only get a 6 minus to a penalty roll, which is
wait.
That seems like a good balance decision there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Because like it does the damage, and it's also a penalty to the saving throw equal to the number on the D6.
I think it's a little unintuitive. Personally, I would just go, you take 1d6 damage and then you roll a d6. Because if you do the text like that, it's the same result basically. But then you can just say, oh, the spell's damage, which is a separate roll, increases by blah, blah, blah. You'll probably be like, I get that the point is like, oh, the same dice you rolled does two things. I get the intent behind that, which is like, oh, this is interesting. You just do one die roll, decide two different things, but it becomes a little like confusingly written because of that when you go to the higher levels.
I think
cool.
it's
I like the concept for sure.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Mindsliver.
Yeah, it's kind of like trying. I think he was trying to idiot-proof the spell. Because like
like pedantic proof.
Yeah,
rules like, lawyer proof.
Exactly. That way you don't have someone trying to break it. Because like, he must have play tested this with a
meta game proof.
Yeah,
I can see that.
So it's just like, oh, well, you see, the D6 I rolled for the penalty is actually this one. Like, okay, so he's trying to eliminate that entirely as there's only one D6, the rest of them are D4s, and...
Yeah, now that I look at it, it's very, very similar to Mindsliver, but it's more like melee spell attack.
I think it's good to give more like attacks like this that are cantrips that do more than just a little bit of damage.
I would like it if the text allowed you to choose between a melee spell attack or a weapon attack similar to Booming Blade.
Yeah,
that would be cool because you could be opening it up to like Eldritch Knights and Paladins and stuff like that.
I mean, even
Paladins don't get cantrips if I'm not mistaken,
right?
but multi-class
I could see that. But one of the cool things is it is a touch range spell, so you could channel that through a familiar.
Oh, good point. That is a good point. That makes it more.
I'm also curious about it being psychic damage and not like
it's
force.
one of the
necrotic. Yeah.
Yeah, necrotic or force.
Oh, I guess I can see, because if you try to think of void touch, it could go like for an interpretation of like not astral, but like far realm.
Yeah,
psionic, eldritch, mind flare. If you go to that kind of void, as in space, astral and far realm and stuff, then it kind of makes sense with psychic, because it is the main psionic
messing
damage.
With the mental and life energies.
Yeah. If you go to that interpretation, that kind of flavoring, then I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I like it. It seems interesting.
Void touch. That's cool. I like the concept. Like, you could probably use some tweaking.
Something that I would definitely use. I feel like
the concept is solid. I think.
Yeah.
I would give this a Tonga.
Tonga out of there.
And then he's got a Discord, an Instagram. He's got a YouTube channel.
Right.
Yeah, shout out to
Art by Midjourney, and he's forefront about using Midjourney for his art stuff there.
Nice. Midjourney's been doing some really nice stuff lately. I've been seeing
as long as it's unmonetized and you're upfront about it, sure. A lot of people take Midjourney and remove the background and integrate it into the document better, so there's at least some work there,
Yeah, a lot of people use it in conjunction with their photoshopping skills.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I did find one homebrew that I think you guys are gonna very much enjoy.
Yeah.
I think you guys are gonna really enjoy this one. I went to my saved posts on Instagram and okay, this is good. Where do you guys want me to drop it?
Yeah, you can drop it right there in the general. I already have that pulled up.
Check this out, bro. Check this shit out.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I love this one so much.
Ooh, gelatinous polyhedron.
Ooh.
It's a ooze D20, bro.
Okay.
It's a giant ooze D20, bro.
It's a monster. Oh, shit.
It's a slime D20, bro.
Oh, fuck.
You can literally put your players against a giant D20 that can eat them.
Dude, this is really cool.
I love it.
The art looks amazing.
Whoa,
by crafting critical. Okay.
Critical crafting,
Crushing roll.
If you guys scroll down, you'll probably see my comment on it. I said, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I would roll a d20 like a physical d20 every time this thing moved on a turn. And if I ever got a 20, I will have the ooze regain all his hit points.
Yeah, I feel like the rolls.
It gets to do a critical hit, bro. It gets to do it. But hey, you could also do like, if I roll d20 whenever it moves and it rolls on a 1, you can give it a penalty as well. I would do both, you know.
Dude, roll a d20 and that's the number of spaces it moves because it rolls.
This is a d20. It's gonna happen. Critical hits are gonna be a thing, you know.
Oh, for sure.
So fucking cool.
Dude, that's a beefy boy. Over 200 HP.
I mean,
sticky climb, so it's just a d20 rolling up the wall.
Imagine that, bro. Like a giant d20.
Like every like maybe one face it can like summon a skeleton, or like one face it like makes a weapon attack or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I just looked at this and I was like, that's genius.
Take a d20 of your choices and make your own faces.
Rolling
because like gelatinous cube dice. Yeah. What if we make it a d20? It's such a simple
and you could definitely take the idea that they like absorb things and they could just spit something out on like a dice roll.
Yeah. Like rolling in golf, crushing roll, defensive. That's amazing.
So its really main shtick is being faster than your typical ooze.
Yeah, because it rolls.
Like if there was like a ball ooze or whatever, that shit would fucking.
Yeah, because the thing, like the ball, I don't know, it being an ooze kind of makes the ball image feel a little weird.
Yeah,
because it's still an ooze, it's still not solid.
Right.
So how would the rolling actually work? But if an ooze can maintain the overall shape of a cube, then it makes sense that it could maintain the shape of a d20. And it being a d20, then absolutely make the visualization
created by a
rolling around, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely add some necromantic bullshit to it.
If I was running it, I would roll a d20, and then whatever the number is, that's how many spaces I'll let it move.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe like one face it like casts haste on itself.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Actually, like roll a d20. Okay, 15. It moves 15 feet on the turn. That's amazing.
Yeah, that way it's like
if it moves 17 feet, you could just round it out like to the next 5 section.
Yeah, so it's just like
roll a 17 goes to either 15 or 20, you know, something like that.
Yeah, roll a 2 is like, oh, it only moves a couple spaces.
This is creative. I like it.
It's so cool.
It's like if someone decided to give a gelatinous cube rollout.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a DM. I'm only a player and a homebrewer. But this is the kind of stuff that I say because like, bro, if I ever DM, I'm putting this. I don't care what setting it is. I don't care what module
save that
I'm doing. Yeah. But I ain't gonna find a way to put this on a combat at least once. Like,
this is really cool. CR6.
Oh, absolutely. It's cool. I like that.
Really good.
This would be fucking scary. Like, imagine you're in a dungeon and like your wizard is like, "Oh, okay, just design this cube." Like, you're like, "Wait a minute."
I like to think of it like, okay, this is the dungeon master's personal die. You know, this is God's dice right here. A giant fucking
the master of this lich like created this thing.
Some of the text here is like living traps because of their ability to move at an incredibly fast pace compared to other oozes. They literally roll over their victims, and it often serves. They
even add like
you could replace the ball trap with one of these.
It's not just a stepper. They add this cool ass lore to help you integrate it into your setting. So fucking cool.
Now, this is it right here.
Random, so you can like give the faces like random effects.
Their movements are mostly random. Yeah, I love it. It's literally a d20. It's completely fucking random, except when he wants it to fail. Then you're gonna roll
like a three
natural ones in a row. Yeah,
the nearby wall.
3 ones in a row would get this thing killed because it's just staying still.
Wow. When you put it like that.
Yeah, one die just like spins in place. Like
Flash feast. Man, that's crazy.
I love it. It's great. I'm putting that
shout out to
description
Critical Craft.
For sure.
Shout out to Critical. I thought you guys would like it. It's just such a simple like variation of the existing version of it, but such a like. How did no one think of this before? You know?
Honestly,
you look at this and how did no one do this before, bro? It's so so
it's like one of those things that it's always been there. but now it is, you know?
Yeah, man.
And now that we have it, it's gonna feed so many more ideas. I love it.
I want some of our listeners to terrorize their players with this.
The kind of homebrew that
They'll get
inspires
hyped, I
more
promise.
homebrew, man. No, this is the kind of homebrew they're looking to get hyped. Like, that's fucking cool. I want to do that. I want to use that. If I was a DM, I would absolutely be.
Dude, I wish I
Like,
had
that's a terrible
die that
idea.
was like a Gelatinous Cube dice D20.
Yeah,
That would be
instead
so
of a
cool.
mini, you could just use that die.
That'd be so cool.
Did you guys hear what Plank suggested?
No. What is that?
Fucking,
I actually missed it. What did he say?
like he's saying that like Dragon's dice, you just
Yeah.
the players get dropped into a pit and like 3 of these things start rolling around.
Oh shit.
Plank, there's a reason we don't let you DM.
There is a
TPK.
reason you don't get to DM.
This guy.
Oh, there are some ooze dices actually, like physical.
Ooh, Tari.
Oh, I've seen some of those. Those are crazy.
Yeah, you could just use that in place of a mini for this thing.
Honestly, the
So
minis
good.
make
I
themselves.
could even see this being like a magic item, you know, like a small like
Ooh,
magic dice.
ooh,
And then
what
it
if you defeat the stat block and you get an actual like
Yeah.
dice size item that is just an ooze dice that your character can throw
Ooh.
and do stuff with it? That
Oh,
would be so
that'd be
cool.
something.
That is how you start, man. That is how you start
like it.
integrating into your campaign.
I like it.
Really flavorful, really cool. I love
All right. So we're getting close to the end here. Canamon, where can people find you?
All right. People can find me on Reddit, Instagram, Ko-Fi. In fact, now I have a link tree. I can just link that.
Hey,
Ooh.
Linktree.
I'm throwing that in the description.
Hey, there you go.
Awesome.
Look at that. Look at how cute it is.
If you guys haven't seen any of his homebrew, I highly recommend it.
Hey, thank you.
Great to have
appreciate
you
that.
back. Great to be back.
Absolutely. It was awesome talking with you guys again. Good to know you guys as well. Always a lot of fun
Yeah, we
time.
appreciate it.
I'm always posting like a new homebrew basically every week, if not every
Yeah.
other week. Posting here on the server as well. If anyone is interested in checking my stuff
Definitely
out.
glad to hear you're doing well too.
Hmm?
How was I don't know if Brazil celebrates like a 4th of July type of thing.
Oh
but-
yeah, Independence Day. I mean, not really. I think that one is mostly American,
Hmm.
but we love seeing the stuff and obviously as usual, the memes.
I know my
Brazilians
roommates
love
are
memes.
very, very into like soccer.
We have a
and stuff.
very big passion for memes.
They've
I
been
would say.
going crazy for the soccer lately.
I'm pretty much an anomaly when it comes to that. Because if I was more like the rest of my people, I would live and breathe soccer. You know,
Yeah.
not even exaggerating, not even a little bit. I would live and breathe that shit if I was like a normal Brazilian.
I feel that I'm not really into sports at all.
Not a sports ball guy.
Yeah, I am not one as well. Absolutely. I don't.
You're
I
always
mean,
like,
not
"What's
wanting
your
to
team?"
get into the nerd stereotype, but goddamn, I'm a nerd stereotype, man. I am not about that.
Our jock cousins, they do all the number crunching for just a whole bunch of.
I did sports in high
guys.
school.
I would much rather play with my math rocks. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I wish I
I
had
would let
maybe
my
instead
math
of
rocks
playing
do
the
the
sports, I
athletics
played
for
in
me.
high school.
I mean, we got fantasy tabletop. They got fantasy football. It's like
Exactly.
When you put it like that.
Only one of them has a
like
you mean Magic Johnson?
and dragons.
Like imagine like the Uncle Sam poster, but instead of Uncle Sam, it's like Vecna. Vecna wants you
Ah,
to play
yes.
D&D. Vecna wants you
List in
to
your
play
local
D&D so he
game.
can kill you.
See, that's the kind of propaganda WotC needs to be pushing.
They absolutely should. I
Yeah.
swear to God, that shit would sell like hotcakes.
Yes.
Like,
I guess
that's
we
the
have to
thing.
sell
What-
it for them.
Yeah,
Vecna
that's
for
the thing.
president.
The one thing that I
2024.
see a lot, I have a friend which is also a content creator. His name is Hans Halfaven. He's a Twitch
Yeah.
streamer. He does homebrew reviews. He does tabletop stuff. He's an amazing guy,
Ooh,
and
we
he's
should get him on the
always
show.
saying this. He's always. You guys would absolutely. You know what?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna talk to him and
Awesome,
mention if he wants
awesome.
to do an episode with you guys, because I'm pretty sure you guys will hit it off like hell. Hands
Oh,
is
sure.
amazing. And the one thing that he's always saying on his streams, whenever he does like a homebrew review, and he frequently reviews my stuff on his stream, he's awesome. The one thing that he says a lot is the reason why homebrew is so popular for 5e is because a lot of the time it feels like WotC forgets the fun factor.
Yeah.
The fun factor.
So true.
Like, what is it? The last 2 subclasses they released in the last 3 to 4 years: Path of the Giant Barbarian, like Lunar Sorcery. Like, that's not that appealing. You wanna know what's fucking appealing?
In
You're
Homebrew,
a fucking Frankenstein Barbarian, bro.
That's it right there.
Transformer race.
Yeah.
You're another robot race. Like the Autonomes were awesome.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Tasha's and Xanatar's. I feel like the Tasha's and Xanatar's book were the 2 actual fucking fun books that WotC released.
Honestly,
like you get Spelljammer. How the fuck do you release Spelljammer without a single subclass in it, bro? It's literally the space setting.
Like you got a setting with space hippos. How'd you drop the bag?
Bro, how do you make space clowns a thing, a canonical thing, and there's not a race for it? Do you know how many people want to play as space clowns? Are you kidding me?
So many people. So many people.
Like, bro, D&D is character options. The one thing that people love the most is character options. WotC, where is your fucking character options? I don't want an entire new fucking book with just basic lore that you get to just slap on the DM and say, hey, you make up the rest. Bro, are you kidding? That's a fucking glorified guide list for DMs to make their own setting. Where's the character options? Where's the meaty stuff? Where are the feats, the spells, the items? Oh, okay. Makes
That's
sense
what my dad was saying when he
that.
took a look at my copy of Spelljammer, because like he's from back in the day when like they had the good Spelljammer, and he's like, what is this shit?
Like, okay, now it makes sense. That's why they weren't doing so much actual new content drops because they were prepping for the new 2024 version in the last 5 years or something. That's the rumors that I see going around.
Exactly. Like they spent so much time focusing on making new D&D, and then and then when they did release Spelljammer stuff, they're like, they spent half their time walking back the whole HAD-OZ thing.
Yeah,
like they're like, oh no, flying monkeys. People are going to think we're racist. Now they're calling us racist because we made a race of flying monkey people. And it's just like
bro, I roll my eyes so much. I almost lost my eyes for how much I roll.
Man, it is so good to be back.
That's the thing. I want, okay, you're gonna do new D&D 2024, 2025 and beyond. Okay, WotC. You finally did your own update. You want to go video game? Fine. Bring the fucking good stuff. If that's what you're gonna do, okay. Bring the good. I want to see 3 new books a year. I want to see 3 new books a year, and at the very least, 5 subclasses or races or spell sets in each one. I want you to actually work. I want you to actually write shit. Like, goddamn, in 1 year, the homebrew community pumped out 30 fucking times the amount of content that WotC did in the last 10 years, bro.
Honestly, they could just hire some of these people. Just buy them out. It's not hard.
It's like, bro, the main design team for WotC pumps out the same content in 1 year that the homebrew community pumps out in a month.
Yeah.
And that's not exaggeration. It's insanity. So Hans is always saying that.
Honestly,
the homebrew community is what brings back the fun. Like the homebrew community is what brings out the fun. You want to get good content for D&D, you're gonna find it on the homebrew. You're gonna find it on the third-party products. You're not gonna find it on the official books. The official books are just a guide. They're just a guideline for you to run homebrew. That's it. That's the truth.
That is what D&D has become.
They gotta start marketing that generic realm.
Like literally, official is just a basis for you to run homebrew. That's it.
Yeah, it's really just the box, and I just need the box to think outside of. Like, as long as I got the box, I'm good. I don't need the contents in the box. I'm throwing that away.
You know, it's like a bike without wheels. It's like a bike without wheels. The official books are just the bike. The homebrew is the wheels. That's the wheels. That's how you actually run the bike, bro. Honestly.
All right.
I'm gonna talk to Hans. I'm gonna see if he wants to be. I think if all works out and I get him into the server, you guys are gonna love him. You're gonna love him.
I'm all in. All right, Sam. It's been a time. It's been an episode, and everyone, you can find us at the Twitter at the Nerd Militia 0. We got the Patreon and the YouTube and
join the militia.
Yeah, join the militia. Ask yourself what nerds can do for you.
We hope to get the watch parties going again. We hope to get game nights going again.
Whoa.
You know,
that's cool.
All kinds of things. We just need people who want to hang out and join the fun.
Absolutely.
Join us, guys. Become one of us.
One of us.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you're glad we're back. We're glad to be back.
Back in black, baby.
Back in black, baby. Once you go black, you never go back.
See y'all next week.
Oh, man. If anyone gets to say that, it's you, man.
Let's go.
It's great. I
was not expecting that.